Hey everyone, this is Matt with IPICO, and I am your technical analyst here. Today I'm going to be introducing the Super Elite reader to you. In the video, we're going to show you some basic information about what the different functions of the reader are. However, I just wanted to point out before we get into that we are going to have the position of this a little bit different. So the way we have it set up here is basically optimized for airflow through the system. So just want to point that out before we get into it, but now we can go ahead and show you exactly what's going on here. The thing that's the most important part of the Super Elite system is the Octal, because that's where all of the brains of the operation are. That's where everything is happening as far as collecting the data. So just to give you a basic overview of that, we do have a status light up here that blinks off and on. It's sort of our heartbeat. If you're familiar with the old Elite readers that had a delta in them, they also had a little bit of a heartbeat as well. And that basically just lets you know that everything is functioning properly. If you see this turn red for some reason, it's either meaning that the power is going to be shut off or there might be some sort of an issue there, and so we want to keep an eye on that. The main thing that you're going to be looking at on the Octal is going to be the LCD screen. And so as you can see here, it gives you a lot of different information. You're going to get the IP address of your reader. You're going to have the time that the reader is set to. So if your reader is in sync, out of sync, whatever. And then you've got a counter here, which is going to count your unique tags as well as the specific instances of each tag that it's recording. As I said, we'll go into more detail on the actual LCD screen later. You do also have two USB ports, which are going to be used for collecting data later. You can use a USB stick. You'll just drop that in there, and then you'll pull it out once it's finished recording the data. You also do have these two Ethernet ports. And these Ethernet ports, basically having both of those there is going to allow you to daisy chain multiple Super Elites together. So if you have more than one Super Elite, you do have the option of essentially connecting one to your computer or to a mobile hotspot or something like that, and then you connect this to the other reader, and they basically join up together and are in sync. So those are the things that we really want to focus on here as far as connection is concerned. This right here is our GPS antenna connector, and it basically offers you the option of syncing your time with a global positioning system. Not as many people are going to be using that, but it is an option, so you do have that there as well. We'll cover some more of that in the unboxing video, where we show you exactly what's coming inside of the boxes, but I just did want to point that out. Now the power card, or the power supply card, is going to be very important. You want to make sure that these lights are always on. You don't want to have one of them off for some reason. There's really no reason for that to happen. And then you do have this little auxiliary power, which will give you about 1 amp output. So if you had to power something like a router or a modem or something like that you needed this for, you could use that. The other things that are very important here are going to be your battery ports, or excuse me, your battery and power ports. And basically what these are going to be used for are connecting your power supply, or you can connect an external battery using the clip option. And it's just a couple of alligator clips that connect to a little cable that comes out of there. And again, we'll show you that in the other video. But just make sure that you're aware of these. This one here that says battery charger, or excuse me, 12-volt battery or IPICO fast charger, that is the only port that you can use the fast charger on if you have it. Do not plug it in to the 12-volt, this normal one over here. It will really mess things up for you. So that's the things to focus on there. These two right here are not really used anymore. You do have the option of plugging something in there and using them if you're using dual frequency. UHF at some point will have that option. Primarily what we're focusing on with timestamps with the Super Elite is going to be connecting over your phone. And we'll go into another video about that, but basically you can connect to the phone. You'll have an option to look at your event and the tags and everything like that through a web app, and you will then sync the time however you want to do that, and so that basically takes care of that. You can timestamp it. You can just say, okay, this is the time of day that my race started, whatever. The one that we're going to really focus on here up at the top, we don't use the sync anymore at all, so you can just totally ignore that one, but the external buzzer is something that is used, and it's basically, we have a little buzzer that you stick in there. It's just a cord, and so if you're at say you're at an event that has loudspeakers and things like that, you've got a lot of stuff going on, you really need to hear that thing as it's coming across, or basically as it's recording people. That external buzzer is going to make it a whole lot louder. It's going to make it a lot easier to hear, and that way you don't have to keep your eyes on the reader the entire time. So that's a basic overview of the system. I do want to point out real quick, the way that we have this shown here is standing straight up. It would be ideal for, particularly in cases of hot weather, to actually have this sitting down like this, basically to where the front faceplate is facing you or it's facing outward, as opposed to straight up in the air. And the reason for that is because as you can see, we have these vents here. There is actually no fans in here to circulate any kind of air. So we want to make sure that we're getting good air circulation, and so that's why we want to do that. So basically, yeah, so that's the extent of it. So if you do have any questions, please give me a call. My name is Matt. I am your IPICO representative, and thanks for watching.